Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we re-tackling a topic that's on the minds of many: how to keep our brains sharp and healthy as we age and reduce the risk of dementia. It's a major concern for seniors and their families, but here's the empowering truth. Our daily choices can make a huge difference. Think of your brain like a muscle. The more you use it, and the better you nourish it, the stronger it becomes. With the right habits, we can significantly boost memory, sharpen our focus, and maintain mental clarity well into our later years. So, where do we start? The journey to a healthier brain begins on your plate. A balanced brain-boosting diet is one of the most effective tools we have. Foods packed with antioxidants, healthy omega-3 fatty acids, and essential vitamins are your brain's best friends. Studies consistently show that seniors who regularly enjoy foods like fatty fish such as salmon, nutrient-dense nuts like walnuts, antioxidant-rich berries, and leafy green vegetables like spinach and kale tend to have better cognitive function. Swapping out processed foods, sugary snacks, and unhealthy fats for whole grains, lean proteins, and colorful produce can lay a powerful foundation for long-term brain health. It's not about a restrictive diet. It's about making smart, delicious choices that fuel both your body and your mind. Beyond diet, regular physical activity is absolutely crucial. You don't need to run a marathon. Consistent, moderate exercise is incredibly effective. Activities like brisk walking, swimming, cycling, or even dancing get your blood flowing, delivering more oxygen and nutrients to your brain. This helps grow new brain cells and strengthen the connections between them. Exercise also reduces the risk of conditions like high blood pressure and diabetes, which are linked to cognitive decline. Aim for at least 30 minutes of moderate activity most days of the week. Even simple things like gardening or taking the stairs can contribute. The key is to find something you enjoy, so it becomes a sustainable part of your routine. Moving your body is one of the best things you can do to keep your mind working at its best. Now let's talk about flexing those mental muscles. Just like our bodies, our brains thrive on challenges. Engaging in mentally stimulating activities helps build what experts call cognitive reserve. This is like a backup system for your brain, making it more resilient to age-related changes. So, what kind of activities are we talking about? The possibilities are endless. You could learn a new language, pick up a musical instrument, or dive into a new hobby like painting or woodworking. Puzzles, like crosswords or Sudoku, are fantastic for problem-solving skills. Reading books, playing strategy games like chess or bridge, or even taking a class at a local community college can keep your neurons firing. The goal is to step out of your comfort zone and learn something new. This novelty and challenge create new neural pathways, keeping your brain adaptable and sharp. Another powerful and often overlooked pillar of brain health is social connection. Humans are social creatures, and meaningful interaction is vital for our mental well-being. Loneliness and social isolation can have a negative impact on cognitive function and increase the risk of dementia. Staying connected with friends, family, and your community provides emotional support and mental stimulation. Join a club, volunteer for a cause you care about, schedule regular calls with loved ones, or participate in group activities. Engaging in conversations, sharing experiences, and laughing with others are all potent brain boosters. These interactions challenge your brain to listen, process information, and respond, keeping it active and engaged. Never underestimate the power of a good chat with a friend. Equally important is getting enough quality sleep. Sleep is when your brain does its housekeeping. While you rest, your brain works hard to clear out toxins that build up during the day, including beta-amyloid proteins, which are associated with Alzheimer's disease. It also consolidates memories, transferring them from short-term to long-term storage. Most adults, including seniors, need 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep per night. If you're struggling with sleep, try establishing a relaxing bedtime routine. This could include reading a book, taking a warm bath, or listening to calming music. Avoid screens like TVs and phones before bed, as the blue light can interfere with your sleep cycle. Make your bedroom a dark, quiet, and cool sanctuary for rest. Prioritizing sleep is like giving your brain a nightly spa treatment. It's essential for repair and rejuvenation. Managing stress is another key piece of the puzzle. Chronic stress can be toxic to the brain. When we're stressed, our bodies release a hormone called cortisol. In short bursts, cortisol is helpful, but high levels over a long period can damage brain cells, especially in the hippocampus, which is critical for memory and learning. Finding healthy ways to manage stress is non-negotiable for brain health. Mindfulness meditation, deep breathing exercises, and yoga are proven techniques for calming the nervous system. Spending time in nature, listening to music, or engaging in a relaxing hobby can also work wonders. It's about finding what helps you unwind and making it a regular practice. By protecting your brain from the harmful effects of chronic stress, you're taking a proactive step towards preserving your cognitive function for years to come. Let's also touch on managing your overall health. Conditions like high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and type 2 diabetes are major risk factors for dementia. These conditions can damage blood vessels, including those in the brain, impairing blood flow, and increasing the risk of cognitive decline. That's why regular checkups with your doctor are so important. Work with your healthcare provider to monitor your numbers and manage any chronic conditions effectively. Taking prescribed medications as directed, maintaining a healthy weight, and following the lifestyle advice we've already discussed, like diet and exercise, are all part of a comprehensive approach to protecting your brain. What's good for your heart is truly good for your head. Finally, it's important to avoid habits that are detrimental to brain health. Smoking, for example, damages blood vessels and reduces oxygen flow to the brain, significantly increasing the risk of cognitive decline. If you smoke, quitting is one of the most impactful things you can do for your brain. Similarly, excessive alcohol consumption can be toxic to brain cells and interfere with cognitive function. It's best to limit alcohol intake to moderate levels, as defined by health guidelines. Making conscious choices to avoid these harmful habits is just as important as adopting healthy ones. Healthy fats are another cornerstone. These are found in olive oil, avocados, nuts, and seeds. And let's not forget about fish, particularly fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, and sardines. They are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which are crucial building blocks for our brain cells. These fats help reduce inflammation and are linked to lower levels of beta amyloid, the protein that forms damaging plaques in the brains of people with Alzheimer's disease. So, making simple swaps, like using olive oil instead of butter or having a handful of walnuts as a snack, can make a huge difference. Now, let's move on to another powerful tool in our arsenal: exercise. When we think of exercise, we often focus on physical benefits like weight management and heart health. But regular physical activity is just as critical for our brain. It works in several amazing ways. First, it improves blood circulation, ensuring our brain gets a steady supply of oxygen and nutrients. It's like giving your brain a constant, refreshing stream of fuel. You don't need to run a marathon to reap these benefits. Simple, enjoyable activities can be incredibly effective. A brisk 30-minute walk each day, joining a light aerobics class, or practicing gentle yoga can significantly boost brain function. Exercise also stimulates the growth of new brain cells and strengthens the connections between them, a process called neurogenesis. This helps to build what we call cognitive reserve, which is like a backup generator for your brain, making it more resilient to age-related changes and damage. So, find a physical activity you love and make it a regular part of your routine. Your brain will thank you for it. Keeping the mind active is just as essential as keeping the body active. Our brain is a muscle, and just like any other muscle, it thrives on being challenged. The principle of use it or lose it is very real when it comes to cognitive function. Engaging in mentally stimulating activities helps to build and maintain strong neural connections, keeping your mind sharp and agile. Think of it as a workout for your brain. So, what does a brain workout look like? The options are endless and can be a lot of fun. Reading is a fantastic way to engage your imagination and processing skills. Diving into a good book, whether it's fiction or non-fiction, transports your mind and keeps it working. Puzzles are another great choice. Crosswords, Sudoku, or jigsaw puzzles challenge your logic, memory, and problem-solving abilities. Don't be afraid to try something completely new. Learning a new language, picking up a musical instrument, or taking an online course on a topic you're passionate about creates new neural pathways. Many experts agree that lifelong learning is one of the most effective strategies for warding off cognitive decline. Another critical pillar of brain health is something we all cherish: Social connection. Humans are social creatures. Meaningful interaction with others isn't just a source of joy, it's a vital component of a healthy brain. Loneliness and social isolation have been linked to a higher risk of dementia. When we engage with friends, family, or community groups, we're actually giving our brain a complex workout. Think about what happens during a simple conversation. You have to listen, process information, access memories, formulate a response, and read social cues. All of these tasks stimulate various parts of the brain. Joining a club, volunteering, taking a class, or even just scheduling regular calls and visits with loved ones can combat isolation. These connections provide emotional support, reduce stress, and create a sense of belonging, all of which contribute to better mental and cognitive well-being. So make time for the people in your life. It's good for your heart and your head. Let's not overlook the importance of quality sleep. Sleep is not a luxury, it's a biological necessity. During sleep, our brain goes into a deep cleaning mode. It is like a janitorial crew comes in to clear out toxins that accumulate during our waking hours. One of these toxins is beta amyloid, the very same protein we mentioned earlier that is associated with Alzheimer's. Without sufficient restful sleep, this waste clearing process is impaired, allowing these harmful substances to build up. Most adults, including seniors, need about 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep per night. To improve your sleep, try to establish a regular sleep schedule, even on weekends. Create a relaxing bedtime routine, perhaps by reading a book or listening to calming music. Make sure your bedroom is dark, quiet, and cool. Avoid caffeine and heavy meals close to bedtime, and limit screen time from phones and TVs, as the blue light can interfere with your body's natural sleep-wake cycle. Prioritizing sleep is one of the most restorative things you can do for your brain's long-term health. Finally, managing stress is crucial. Chronic stress can be toxic to the brain. When we're stressed, our body releases a hormone called cortisol. In short bursts, cortisol can be helpful, but when we're constantly stressed, high levels of cortisol can damage brain cells, particularly in the hippocampus, the area of the brain responsible for memory and learning. This can shrink the brain and increase the risk of dementia. Finding healthy ways to manage stress is key. Mindfulness and meditation are powerful practices that can lower cortisol levels and improve focus. Even just a few minutes of quiet breathing each day can make a difference. Spending time in nature, listening to music, engaging in a hobby you enjoy, or practicing gratitude are all effective stress busters. If you're feeling overwhelmed, don't hesitate to talk to a friend, family member, or a mental health professional. Remember, taking care of your mental health is an integral part of taking care of your brain health. So, to recap, protecting our brain involves a holistic approach. It's about nourishing our body with a healthy diet, staying physically active, challenging our minds, nurturing social connections, getting quality sleep, and managing stress. These aren't drastic overnight changes. They are small, consistent habits that, when woven into the fabric of our daily lives, can have a profound and lasting impact on our cognitive vitality. It's about building a lifestyle that supports a healthy brain for the long haul. You've probably heard the saying, "You are what you eat," and that couldn't be more true for our brains. Think of your diet as fuel for your mind. A brain-healthy diet is often called the MIND diet, which stands for Mediterranean-Intervention for Neurodegenerative Delay. That's a mouthful, but it's actually pretty simple. It focuses on whole foods like leafy greens, nuts, berries, beans, whole grains, fish, and olive oil. These foods are packed with antioxidants, healthy fats, and vitamins that fight inflammation and protect our brain cells from damage. It's not about a strict, boring diet. It's about making delicious, smart choices. For example, try swapping out red meat with fatty fish like salmon a couple of times a week. Salmon is rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which are like superfood for your brain cells. And berries, especially blueberries, are little powerhouses of antioxidants that help protect the brain from stress. Small changes can make a huge difference over time. Now, let's get moving. Physical activity isn't just for keeping our bodies in shape. It's one of the most effective ways to keep our minds in shape too. When you exercise, you increase blood flow to the brain, which delivers essential oxygen and nutrients. It also stimulates the growth of new brain cells and strengthens the connections between them. This is crucial for memory and learning. You don't need to run a marathon. Activities like brisk walking, swimming, gardening, or even dancing for about 30 minutes most days of the week are fantastic. The key is consistency. Find something you enjoy so it doesn't feel like a chore. Moving your body is a direct investment in your cognitive future, helping to build a more resilient brain that's better equipped to fend off age-related decline. Okay, let's move from physical activity to mental activity. Just like our muscles, our brain needs a good workout to stay strong. This is where cognitive engagement comes in. It's all about challenging your brain and learning new things. This could be anything from doing crossword puzzles, playing Sudoku, or learning a new language. You could pick up a musical instrument you've always wanted to play, or join a book club to discuss new ideas. The goal is to get out of your mental comfort zone. These activities build what's called a cognitive reserve. Think of it as a backup system for your brain. The more you build it up throughout your life, the better your brain can cope with challenges and resist the changes associated with dementia. So, stay curious, keep learning, and give your brain the stimulation it craves. Next, let's talk about the power of connection. We humans are social creatures, and staying connected with others is vital for our mental well-being and brain health. Meaningful social interactions can help reduce stress, combat depression, and keep our minds active. Loneliness, on the other hand, has been linked to a higher risk of cognitive decline. So make time for friends and family, join a club, volunteer in your community, or take a class. Even simple things, like having a regular phone call with a loved one, can have a profound impact. These social ties create a strong support network and provide emotional and mental stimulation that is incredibly protective for the brain. It's a fun and joyful way to invest in your long-term health, so go ahead, call a friend, plan a get-together, and cherish those connections. Now let's talk about something that is often overlooked, but is a complete game changer for brain health: sleep. Getting a good night's sleep is not a luxury, it's a necessity. While we sleep, our brain is incredibly busy. It's like a cleaning crew that comes in to repair cells, consolidate memories, and, most importantly, flush out harmful toxins that build up during the day. One of these toxins is beta amyloid, a protein strongly linked to Alzheimer's disease. Poor or insufficient sleep disrupts this cleaning process, which can increase the risk of dementia and accelerate memory loss. Seniors should aim for 7 to 8 hours of consistent, quality sleep each night. To improve your sleep, try to stick to a regular sleep schedule. Create a relaxing bedtime routine, and make sure your bedroom is dark, quiet, and cool. Prioritizing sleep is one of the most powerful things you can do for your brain. Along with sleep, managing stress is absolutely vital. We all experience stress, but chronic high levels of stress can be toxic to our brain. The stress hormone, cortisol, can damage brain cells, especially in the hippocampus, the brain's memory center. This can weaken memory and increase the risk of dementia. The good news is, we can learn to manage our stress effectively. Practices like meditation, deep breathing exercises, or yoga can work wonders to calm the mind and body. Spending time in nature, whether it's a walk in a park or tending to a garden, is another powerful stress reducer. Finding healthy ways to cope with stress builds mental resilience and protects your brain from long-term damage. It's about finding what works for you to achieve a sense of calm and balance in your daily life. Let's quickly touch upon some other important lifestyle factors. First, be mindful of your cardiovascular health. Conditions like high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and diabetes can damage blood vessels in the brain, increasing your risk for dementia. So, it's crucial to manage these conditions with your doctor's help through diet, exercise, and medication if needed. What's good for your heart is truly good for your brain. Also, if you smoke, quitting is one of the best things you can do for your overall health, including your brain. And finally, be mindful of alcohol consumption, as excessive drinking can be harmful to brain cells. It's all interconnected. A healthy lifestyle holistically supports a healthy mind. So, let's recap the key takeaways for a healthier brain. It's about creating a lifestyle that nourishes and protects your mind every single day. First, fuel your brain with a healthy diet rich in greens, berries, fish, and nuts. Second, get your body moving with regular physical activity to boost blood flow and grow new brain cells. Third, keep your mind engaged by learning new things and challenging yourself. Fourth, nurture your social connections to stay mentally and emotionally stimulated. Fifth, prioritize quality sleep to allow your brain to rest and repair. And finally, manage your stress to protect your brain cells from damage. Now let's talk about what we put on our plates. The saying, "You are what you eat," is particularly true for brain health. A brain-healthy diet is one that's rich in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and lean proteins. Think of the Mediterranean diet. It's packed with antioxidants found in berries and leafy greens like spinach and kale. These antioxidants fight off oxidative stress, which is a type of cellular damage that can contribute to brain aging. Healthy fats are also crucial. Omega-3 fatty acids, found in fatty fish like salmon, as well as in walnuts and flax seeds, are a major building block of the brain. They help build and repair brain cells and have been shown to reduce inflammation. On the flip side, you'll want to limit your intake of processed foods, sugary drinks, and unhealthy fats. These can cause inflammation and damage blood vessels, which is bad news for both your heart and your head. It's not about perfection, but about making small, sustainable changes that add up over time. Keeping your brain active and challenged is just as important as physical exercise. Think of your brain as a muscle. If you don't use it, you lose it. Lifelong learning is one of the best ways to build what's called cognitive reserve. This is like a backup system for your brain. The more you learn, the more neural pathways you create, making your brain more resilient to age-related changes. So, what can you do? The possibilities are endless. Pick up a new language, learn to play a musical instrument, take an online course on a subject that fascinates you, or even just switch up your daily routine to force your brain to think differently. Puzzles like crosswords, Sudoku, or jigsaw puzzles are fantastic for engaging different parts of your brain. The goal is to step out of your comfort zone and try things that are new and mentally stimulating. It should be challenging, but also enjoyable. We're social creatures, and our brains thrive on connection. Staying socially active is another powerful defense against dementia. Regular interaction with friends, family, or community groups keeps the brain engaged and provides crucial emotional support. When you're having a conversation, you're listening, processing information, and formulating responses. It's a great mental workout. Loneliness, on the other hand, has been linked to faster cognitive decline in seniors. So, make time for the people in your life. Schedule regular get-togethers, join a club or a volunteer group, or even just call a friend. These connections enrich our lives and act as a protective buffer for our brains. It's about quality over quantity. Meaningful relationships are what truly matter. If you or someone you know is feeling isolated, reaching out is a powerful first step toward better health. Now let's touch on the importance of medical care. Regular checkups and monitoring health conditions like high blood pressure, diabetes, and high cholesterol are essential for protecting your brain. Why? Because these conditions can seriously impact the health of your blood vessels. High blood pressure, for example, can damage the small arteries in your brain, disrupting blood flow and increasing the risk of both stroke and dementia. Similarly, uncontrolled diabetes can harm brain cells. The good news is that these conditions are often manageable with lifestyle changes and, if necessary, medication. Working closely with your doctor to keep your numbers in a healthy range is one of the most proactive things you can do for your long-term brain health. Don't skip your annual checkups. They are your early warning system. Another critical pillar of brain health is sleep. It's not a luxury, it's a biological necessity. While you sleep, your brain is hard at work. It's like a cleanup crew comes in and clears out toxins that build up during the day. One of these toxins is beta amyloid, a protein that's a hallmark of Alzheimer's disease. Without enough quality sleep, this cleanup process is impaired, and these harmful substances can accumulate. Most adults need 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep per night. If you're struggling with sleep, try to establish a regular sleep schedule, even on weekends. Create a relaxing bedtime routine like reading a book or taking a warm bath. Make sure your bedroom is dark, quiet, and cool, and try to avoid caffeine and screens before bed. If you consistently have trouble sleeping, it's worth talking to a doctor, as it could be a sign of an underlying issue like sleep apnea. Managing stress is also a key component of a brain-healthy lifestyle. Chronic stress floods your body with the hormone cortisol. In short bursts, cortisol is helpful, but over the long term, it can damage the hippocampus, the brain's memory center. This is why finding healthy ways to cope with stress is so important. What works is different for everyone. For some, it might be mindfulness and meditation, which have been shown to calm the nervous system and even change the brain's structure for the better. For others, it could be spending time in nature, listening to music, or practicing deep breathing exercises. Regular physical activity is also a fantastic stress buster. The key is to identify your stressors and build a toolkit of coping strategies that you can turn to when you feel overwhelmed. Taking care of your mental health is taking care of your brain health. So let's quickly recap these powerful strategies. We talked about moving your body regularly, fueling your brain with a nutritious diet, and constantly challenging your mind with new activities. We also covered the importance of staying socially connected, managing your physical health with regular checkups, prioritizing quality sleep, and finding healthy ways to manage stress. It might seem like a lot, but remember, these habits are all interconnected. When you exercise, you often sleep better and feel less stressed. When you eat well, you have more energy for social activities. It's about creating a holistic lifestyle that supports your overall well-being.